Well guys, looks like I'm leaving. You're leaving YouTube already? You've only just started. What? No, I'm not leaving YouTube, but let's go down the unit and I'll tell you what's going on. So there's a bigger reason for it, which I'll get onto later in the video, but I'm actually leaving my unit. Now, I didn't think this day would ever come, but it has. This means I've got to sort all of this out. Everything needs to be packed up, cleaned up, and ready to get shipped because I've got a lot of stuff to move. And not really that much time to move it all, so I need to crack on and get everything packed up. But those of you who've been following along will know the GTO's engine is still on the stand. It's not quite in the car just yet, so that makes this a difficult task. And if you don't know about the GTO's engine, click in the top right hand corner now, because there's a playlist up there of us fully rebuilding that. You'll see why we had to do it, what we did to do it, and what state it's currently in now before we get it back into the car. So I think the first thing I need to do to give myself any space to move around is to get the GTO out. So now that the GTO is out the unit, there's a lot more space to throw stuff around, to organise and to get rid of a lot of this crap. So I'm going to crack on and I'll cut back to you in a bit with an update. So we've got a lot of the GTO's parts in boxes. I've also managed to separate a few of the TT stuff into a separate box. But even now, after it's been about 2 hours, something like that, got a fair bit done. It doesn't look like it, but a lot's moved. So as it is currently in this box is a load of hardware stuff, the plenum and a few little plates for the GTO. That box is all the boost pipes, all the coolant pipes, anything to do with liquids basically. Under the bench is pretty much empty. The GTO's gearbox is still on the floor. Still undecided on what to do with that yet. That box is full of TT bits that I still haven't put on the car, but I'm yet to. That's got a few intake stuff, oil cooler, the engine's still on the stand, and the bench is looking a lot less cluttered. And don't be fooled, them boxes aren't the only parts we've got lying around for the GTO. Another thing I've had to do is fill the boot on the GTO with a load more stuff. So that's a spare glass for the sunroof, and then underneath all that is a lot more GTO parts. That way when I move the car, I move a lot of the parts with the car so they can't get lost. Well, I hope they don't get lost. But even still, there's still a lot more left to do, and there's a lot to do with the loophole behind me, so we need to get all that moved as well. Get it packed up, but that's basically done. That's not an issue. It's the GTO stuff I need to make sure I get right, because if I misplace anything or I forget anything or anything like that, it's going to be an absolute pain to try and put it all back together. I've just realised I've never actually mentioned the loophole. You'll have seen it in the background on a lot of my videos, but this is it. It's a 1.4 Volkswagen Sport engine with a Mini Cooper supercharger on it. This car is not mine, as I've just said. It's a friend's car, so currently we split the unit, but we're going our separate ways because he's starting uni soon. But that's the loophole. It's quite a cool little car in the future. If people are interested, let me know in the comment section down below. If you'd like to see an update on that car, because at the minute it's like a little rat rod, but it is quite cool. And then down the back of the unit, we've still got a lot of GTO parts. So obviously the front wing, the side skirts, and all that. Stuff up here needs to go, but they're more loophole parts. That's not that bad. So again, I'm going to crack on and I'll come back to you for update 2. So in terms of the unit progress, a lot's been done. So there's still crap and boxes everywhere, but under there is empty. The tool wall is completely empty. The bench still needs a good going over. The GTO is now outside. Down the back, there's still a few things to do, but all the stuff that were under this bench is now out here. So they're all the side skirts, that's the wing, that's the spare heat shield. If you come round to the GTO, you can see that we put the wing on, the bumper on, the bonnet was on anyway, and we just bolted them all on loosely, so when we move the car it all moves together. But 90% of it's been done. The only thing we need to do now is get all of it from here somewhere else, because I can't leave it here because we have to leave soon. So I'm going to crack on and carry on moving all of this. I've enrolled the help of Reese, but we're going to get it all moved and I'll come back to you when it's moving day. So I'll see you when it's moving day, and as you'll have already seen in last week's video, there's the Porsche sitting pretty behind us, and I can't wait to start that project. And if you haven't seen the release of that, click in the top right hand corner now and go have a look, because that's going to be fantastic when we get into it. But I'll see you soon. And here it is, moving day. Luckily enough, we fixed the Porsche just enough to get it rolling, like you will have seen in the Porsche video if you've watched it, so we can get that loaded up first. And although it's driving at the minute, there's still a lot that needs to be done to this car. So if you want to see the build and what it is to do with it, hit the subscribe button down below and click the like button while you're there. So now the Porsche is on the recovery truck, we can get the GTO on the trailer because it's easier to do them both in one trip than to do multiple trips, and it's also more cost effective. And now it's down to MB Transport Recovery to get the two cars off to the new home. I'll leave MB Transport Recovery's details down in the description box below, so if you need anything moving, go grab the details and give them a shout. And even when they're being recovered, I think these two are fantastic looking cars. So this is it. Come back down the unit today just to give the floor as good a clean as I can because it was a bit dirty. It looks a lot worse on camera, but it's not that bad in real life. Obviously managed it all coming up, but the landlord knows about that. This is it. Finally leaving this unit after 3 years. And as sad as it is to be going from the garage, it's been a great 3 years here, and it's enabled me to make the videos, fix the cars, and yeah, I'd be sad to see it go. But the cars are gone, the tools are gone, and that's that. But you know what they always say, when one door closes, another door opens. To this brand new unit. Well, I say brand new, I know it's not brand new, but it's new to me. But here it is, this is the new workshop for the channel, and as you can see, there's already a lot more space. And yes, it's not the nicest of looking things at the minute, but that's because, like the cars, it's a work in progress. But work in progress or not, the space in here is so much bigger than what I used to have, to the point of where I can have the Porsche in here, the GTO, that's all my stuff from the old unit, and it just fits in one corner, which is good. I do need to sort it all out though. And we've got all this space for a lot more stuff. And because of the height of the ceiling, as you can see, I can get ramps, meaning I don't have to crawl around the floor anymore. But I think that'll come in time, because not only is it time, but it's also money. Money I don't have at the minute, but here it is. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, why would you give up your old unit to move into a barn? But the reason I've got this unit now as opposed to the old one is purely because I can see the end goal. It's not what it looks like now because it's a barn, it was a barn. But with a bit of TLC, a bit of work and a few materials, we can make this, or I can make this, into a dream garage setup. And I'm not naive, I know it's going to take a lot of time and probably a fair bit of money to get it to that point, but even in the condition it's in now, it's a workable, usable unit, and I can still continue to use all my tools to fix the cars and to make videos. So that for me is still fantastic, and just like the old one, it's very cold in here. So it looks like that little heater's coming back out. So I'm gonna have to give it a good clean because the floor needs a good brush up. I've got mats to put in one corner to make it like a little workspace so I'm not getting covered in dust. And I think it's a case of organising stuff and moving stuff around so I know where everything is. At the minute I'm stood in one corner, and this is all the space, and that's with the two cars over there, my tools there and stuff here. But as you can see, the floor needs a good brush. But before I start any of that, like I said before about seeing the end product, I'll give you a little walk around the unit and I'll tell you what my plans are for it, and hopefully what it should look like when we're finished doing what it is we're going to be doing, which is going to take a while. But as you probably already seen, we've got two shutters, one bigger than the other, but you've still got space to get a car through that, which is good. But when we come through the shutters, the Porsche is on the left. This corner, I'm gonna try and make like a clean corner so I can have it where I wrap cars and do all that cleaning work, like detailing, all little stuff like that. Good for pictures because it's a low level ceiling, so we'll get better lighting to get better lighting on the cars, and they'll look a lot better in that corner. Not sure what we're gonna stick here yet, but again, as you can see, you can get a car there, so it's not too bad. This corner, from that post to that post, and from that post to that wall, we're gonna try and make this into a bit of a room with a couch, a telly, a coffee table, a sink, a desk, and some form of heater to keep us warm in there in the winter, because it's gonna be cold in here. So then from that corner, cozy corner we'll call it, you've got this, which is an undergarden, low level ceiling again. So the plan is to have workbenches from there going all the way across, and like just a few little workstations. So that's the bit of the unit we can expect to get a little bit messy. And as you probably already guessed, because I think I've already told you, the big centre bit where I'm stood at the minute, we're going to try and have 2 ramps. So the plan is there in the corner where you can do wraps and stuff, we're going to try and get a set of quick jacks just to get the car up, to get the wheels off, so you're not putting it on axle stands. Then this bit in the centre here will be 1 big ramp, and that'll be another. So this one hopefully will be like a 2.5 ton maybe, and then this one in the centre, because it's a higher ceiling, we'll have on like a 3.5 ton. I don't know what cars I'll have on the channel in the future, because sometimes when an opportunity comes up, you've got to take it. Much like with my bashed up Cayman. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Unfortunately, I've had to leave the old unit, but progress requires sacrifice, so I've had to give that one up. I've gained this one. It still needs a lot of work, but I don't mind doing it because it's going to be fantastic when it's finished. I can't wait to get to that point. And who knows what cars we'll have on the channel at that point. But anyway, I'm going to crack on cleaning up because there's a lot to do and, well, no time to do it really. So thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notifications bell so you get an update when I post the next video on the unit, the cars, or anything else. And I'll see you in the next one. Do you lie awake at night? Are you afraid to turn out the lights? Is there something